In this video, we're sharing 7 rules the best gym owners are following to achieve success. These are some of the strategies we share in our 360 program, where members on average grow by 89% in the first year of the program. Within the first 60 days of implementing these strategies, gym owners increase their monthly recurring revenue by $16,290.
So I never thought we would be able to get the studio to 73K, honestly, that fast. We implemented the systems, the processes. We took the training very, very seriously.
We started getting leads like crazy. It was quite insane, to be honest.
So you raised your price essentially 50% in the last year.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect your closing rate at all.
At all.
Today, we pull back the curtain and share with you the ways our members are selling more memberships, making more money, and winning back time. Now, as far as the numbers that we're going to really want to focus on for everything we're going to be talking about today, there's 2 of them, okay? And those numbers are CAC and LTV. So let's say this marker, for instance, I want to sell these and I want to make a business off of selling these particular markers. Well, if each one of the markers costs me $1, that's the cost of it, how much do I need to sell it for at the very minimum in order to have a profit? $1.01, right? That's the minimum. Now, keep in mind, if this cost includes labor and marketing and all that stuff, right? If not, then obviously you got to factor it all in. But it costs me $1 to have this. I got to make at least 101 in order to turn a profit. And that would be a 1% profit. Well, the same thing goes for here. Business really comes down to how much am I getting customers for and how much are they worth to me? And if I can keep this at a 4-to-1 ratio, that's the minimum that I recommend. But ideally, a 10-to-1 ratio, meaning for every dollar I spend, I get $4 back, or for every dollar I spend, I get $10 back, right? This is my favorite. This is where I target. So what this would look like is, let's say with all of your costs to get a client, so let's say you spend $1,500 in ad spend, and let's say you pay that agency $1,500 to run those ads, and let's say you paid a videographer $500 to create some really cool videos, and you spent like another $500 in sales commissions, as an example. So this would be $4,000. So that's what you spent in total acquisition costs. That's your digital advertising, your sales commission, all the costs associated with attaining a new customer, okay? And let's say you got 40 customers from that. Well, if we spent $4,000 and that got us 40 customers, what would the customer acquisition cost be? 100, right? Now, what if it only got us 20? What would it cost us? 200, right? So let's go with that, because that's pretty close to what we see. About $200. Okay, cool. So we have a $200 customer acquisition cost. That's what it costs us to get a client. Now, lifetime value is made up of 2 things. What are those things? That's your LTV. What are the 2 things that make up lifetime value? What do you guys think? What's number 1? You can even say one of the variables if you like, and we can start with that. How long they stay with you, right? So months, retained. Yep. Membership cost is part of this one, but in reality, it's dollar per member per month, because this also includes ancillary sales. So let's say on average, 10% of your revenue comes from ancillary sales, which is a minimum target, right, that you guys should have. That's retail, that's supplements, all of that. So that means if your average member pays you $150 a month, well, 10% of that is 15, which means your average dollar per member is 165, right? So that's what your dollar per member is. So with that being the case, we go, okay, cool. We're paying people we're getting paid $165, their average dollar per member per month, and we retain members for an average of 25 months. Now, question that a lot of people give is, how do we determine how many months somebody stays with us? It's a very hard thing to track. Well, it is, but there's an easy way to track it. The formula is 1 divided by your attrition percentage, and that's your months retained, okay? So here's the way this looks. Attrition is essentially the percentage of members that you lost from the people that you started with. So let's say, easy math, you started with 100 members this month, And of these 100, not including new sales that we got this month, of these 100, we lost 10 of them. That would give us a 10% attrition. 1 divided by 10%. And tell me what you get. Make sure you do percent. So on the calculator, 1 divided by 10% symbol. Click on that. And what do you guys get? 10. And what that means is, on average, as long as you keep that attrition consistent, as long as that's your typical attrition generally, you should be averaging a 10-month retention per member. Now, if you're averaging a 4% attrition, that would give you 25 months. Now, at Loudrumor, we tell everybody we want everyone to target a 3 to 6 month attrition. 3 to 6% attrition, 6 being the highest, 3% is the lowest. Well, not the lowest, you go as low as you want, but that's like that range that we really want. And so let's say 4% is where we are. Well, that means we're retaining members for 25 months. But here's the thing, attrition is such a big number. If we don't focus on this, sales is a big waste of time. Because look at that difference. The difference between a 10% attrition and a 4% attrition is 15 months, right? 10 months is 10%. 25 months is 4%. So 15 months, if you have 100, let's say 150 members paying you $165 a month, and you can't go from 10 to 4%, well, that's costing you $371,000 when you multiply 165 times 150 members times 15 months lost, $371,000. So when you're talking to your employees about attrition, help them understand the real impact that it has to not go from 10 to 8 or 6 or 4. So this is a really big deal. But let's say we're going 25 months. So 165 times 25, let's get the calculator out. That means every member is worth to us $4,125. And at any point we want to increase that, which we should always want to increase this number while decreasing this number. How do we get more clients at a lower cost? And how do we make more of our clients worth more? Which is by either A, getting them to stay longer, or B, getting them to spend more, which is either ancillary sales or upgrading to a higher program or increasing pricing. And as long as we can do that, this gap in the middle here, this is where the real business is made. That's your profit, and that's what we're focused on. So at Loudrumor, we are very, very much focused on this. On all of our members in our 360 program, this is what drives a lot of our decisions. And everything that we're going to be talking about after today is going to be based on these numbers. If we don't know these numbers, we're kind of winging it, and it's a really silly way to do business. So if you want to learn more about lifetime value and customer acquisition costs, just click on the link below. Everyone in our top 3, top 5% of our members, these guys know exactly where the checkered flag is and what they've got to get to. So, okay, cool, we've got to set goals. Well, first we want to say how much you want to grow by. What's our growth goal? So let's say you go, you know what, I want to grow by 5% per month. That's what I want to do, which at the end of a year, that means we grew by over 60% technically because of the compounding, right? So I want to grow by 5% per month. This is how you start almost doubling your business. Great. Well, we have to factor something in because we can't just go, well, we'll take last month times that by 5%, and that will be how many more sales we have to get. That's not true because we have something we have to factor in, which is your attrition. How much do we anticipate we're going to lose this month? So let's say on average, your attrition is 5%. You're losing 5% of your members. You can anticipate, you know what? I'm happy with 5. I'm not upset with 5. So we're gonna call it that we're gonna get 5 every month. We already know that. Minimum work on getting lower. We can anticipate at least 5%. So if we want to grow by 5%, and we know we're gonna lose 5%, if we sell 5%, we have nothing. We actually lost money because it costs us clients and it costs us money in order to get those clients, right? Marketing costs, sales commissions, all that. So really, we need to grow by at least 10%, possibly 11% in order to make up those costs. But let's say 10. Okay, cool. If we sell 10% of last month's revenue, knowing we're going to lose 5% of last month's revenue with attrition, that will allow us to have a greater profit or greater increase of revenue of 5%. Every single month, as long as we can continue to do that, we're good. So that's how we'll set our goals. We'll say, okay, cool. That's what we have to do. Well, then we go, okay, well, what would that be? Let's say we're currently doing $50,000 a month. That's what we did last month. Well, 5% of that would be 2,500. That would be 5%. We know we're going to lose 2,500 with attrition. So that means we need to sell $5,000 in membership in order to get that up there. Now, let's say on average, you guys charge $200 a month. 5,000 divided by 200 means, let's say you charge 200. We need to get 25 new members. Again, if you get 25 new members, knowing you're going to lose about 12 to 13 of them, that'll give you a net positive of 12 to 13, which would end up being, based on just your average dollar per member per month, your 5% growth, okay? How many of you guys struggle, because there's so many formulas, struggle with knowing precisely what you should be spending on marketing? Let me know. Like you've wondered in the past, like, oh, should I spend 10% of my revenue? Should I do this? Should I do that? Anybody ever deal with that? Here's the way it works. Well, we need 25 members, and on average, we pay $200 customer acquisition cost. So if that's the case, then we just multiply those numbers together, 25 times 200. We should have a $5,000 marketing, which includes sales commissions. That's included in customer acquisition cost formula. That should be our marketing budget. And if we do that, that will give us 25 members. As long as we can keep that there. If we can get it lower, it'll give us even more members. But that should get us there. What a lot of people misunderstand or confuse marketing with is advertising. You think they're the same thing, like couch and sofa, like they're interchangeable. They're not. They're very different. In fact, marketing has 4 main umbrellas, and under this umbrella, there's a bunch of sub-umbrellas, and under this umbrella, then there's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, all that stuff. I thought that was marketing. When I hired a marketing agency to run my Facebook ads, I thought they were my marketing agency. No, they're not your marketing agency. They're your digital lead gen company. That's it. They like to call themselves marketing because either A, they're confused and they don't know marketing, or they just know that that's what you're looking for, so they're just kind of like satisfying your needs. But in reality, this is under the umbrella promotion. There's 3 others. We're going to go through that today, okay? And under promotion are these umbrellas, and this umbrella is advertising. And then under advertising, there's actually another umbrella called digital advertising. And then under that, then there's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and so on, okay? So what are these other things that we can do to actually have a marketing plan, which is, again, designed to help increase revenue? That's it, okay? So let's talk about it. It's anywhere where people can exchange business or activity with your company. So how easy is it to check into classes, or to get information from your company, or to make a sale, to make a purchase, like whether I wanted to purchase supplement or retail online through your business? Think about all the areas that people may want to pay you and where they would go, and how easy is it for them to do business? How many steps is it to get that done? We've got to constantly evolve our product, and how do we make our product better and easier to understand at all times? So this is why we interview our top 25 members every year in Q1, is understand what they're liking and what they're not liking. I'll give you a big tip, okay? Never survey your entire client base. You only want to survey your customer avatars, meaning the people that if you could multiply 1,000 times, you would, right? That one customer, you're like, dude, this guy is perfect. How do we get 1,000 of him? So we usually do our top 25, and we survey them, and we ask them, what should we start doing, stop doing, and keep doing? And then from there, we're able to refine the product and the positioning of the product and the delivery of the product, so that we can, A, make sure that we're building in a way to keep these people, because I definitely don't want to lose them, but also attract more people like them and detract the people that are not like them. The last thing you want to do is survey everyone, make changes to somebody that's not my ideal customer says, and that detracts my ideal customers, and I attract more people that I don't want and keep more of the people that I didn't want. Does that make sense? Yes? So That's how you refine the product. You make adjustments through there. Okay, but the biggest way to 2x profits right away is price. This is the number one marketing strategy you'll ever have. For more information on how to double your company profits by effectively increasing pricing, just click on the link below. Last year, we had over 116 people report increased pricing, and they had on average, less than 3% cancellation rate. If you increase pricing by 10% on existing members, only have 3% of them cancel, and now you have a higher price tag for all your future members, you are 1,000% winning. The game is not how do I never lose a member. The game is how do I increase revenue and overall profit. When it comes to promotion, we care about, number one, lead gen. How do we generate more leads? What we want is your people, on average, each person that's in charge of generating business, which is like your front desk, your studio manager, if you have dedicated salespeople, to generate a minimum of 10 leads per week on their own. This isn't through Facebook or Instagram. So if you got 3 people, that's 30 per week. That's about 120, technically 150 per month when you factor in 4.33 weeks of the year in a month. Okay, but we need them generating this on their own. So when we throw on about 150 leads through lead gen, great, that's awesome. These guys are crushing it because this, on average, through digital, you're only going to have like a 10, and if you're really good, maybe 20% close rate. This is what we see on average, 10, 11%. We have some people that are just, they're so bad at the sales process and they don't even know it because they close referrals really well, but like anybody could close referrals, that they close like 2 to 5% on digital leads, and they think the leads are just really, really bad. Well, the truth is, even good closing rate, you're failing 90% of those leads. And if you're really, really good, you're failing 80% of those leads. It's your failure rate. But there's good things that come along with this. With these leads, the organic driven leads, you're closing usually 50 to 70% depending on your skill set. So when you couple this plus this, then plus this, now we're in really, really good shape. So I don't recommend we do any digital ads. If you're doing them right now, that's great. But if you're not generating this organically, at least matching or surpassing your digital performance, then you gotta stop. Our top 5%, ready? Less than 20% of their leads come from digital marketing. More than 80% of their leads come from outside of Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, all that stuff. So how do we do that? Well, there's a few ways. Number one, the most popular way is referrals. Now, there's a lot of ways. In fact, I have 8 different ways to get referrals. The simplest one is, of course, just ask people. There's a refer and receive program that's really awesome. And then there's POS referrals, and that does not stand for pizza. That stands for point of sale. Now, on average, the members in this program get about 3 to 5 referrals at the point of sale. 3 to 5. So if let's say you signed up 25 people that month, you should have 75 referrals. We call this infinite return. So let's say you close 33% of your referrals, which is pretty good, okay? That means you closed another 25 new members. You closed 25, got 75 referrals from them if you just got 3 per. But if you got 75 and closed a third of them, which a lot of people are closing better than that, you just got 25 more sales. What did this do? It cut your acquisition cost, boom, in half. Your customer acquisition cost, if it was $200, now it's $100 because these don't cost you any money. But guess what? These people referred you 75 more, which turned into 25 more members, which turned into 75 referrals, which turned into 25 members, hence infinite return. And by the way, it's infinite return times infinite return because next month you get that again through all the other processes. And so we're just compounding growth. This is how people are growing by 89% per year. Well, this is one of the ways that they're growing by 89% per year. On average, through the refer and receive play, there's actually a video that teaches this on our YouTube channel.
100 referrals in what time frame?
So when I had gotten in, I don't come until 11 on, I think it was a Wednesday. And we already had that. We had like 55. And then we didn't have classes going on until like 4. So between 4:30 and when we basically were done with classes around 8, we had got another 40. So
okay. So how many referrals in what hours? Like how many in 24 hours would you say?
98.
Okay. First off, Both of you guys are badasses.
And on one of them got 98 referrals from her members, only had 180 members. She got that in 24 hours. And while I'm interviewing her, the other studio manager that's in a whole different studio said she reached out to her to find out how she did it. And she got 101 referrals in 24 hours running the same play. And this isn't abnormal. This is a normal thing for people that have about 200 members or more. So this is running a refer and receive play. Learn more about selling at the point of sale by clicking on the link below. I also want to make sure you guys are focusing on your reviews. Right now, the stat is that 88% of consumers admit that they check online reviews before even going to talk to the business. So they look at 3 things. Number 1, they look at number of reviews. This is actually more important than the rating, because if they have a 5-star rating but 3 reviews, they don't really care, right? It's like anything could happen. It's probably even a setup. So if they see 547 reviews, whatever comes next, which is the rating, is going to carry a lot more weight, okay? And now the rating, people want to see 4-star or higher, okay? And then the last thing is quotes. What is it that people are actually saying? So usually what they'll do is they'll actually sort first. Believe it or not, this is what people say they do. They sort by the 1-star first. They start there and they read top down, which means we need to do something very important, which is reply with grace, okay? So all of our negative reviews need to have replies. Now, I'll give you a quick hack. If you go to ChatGPT and just say, I got a negative online review for my fitness studio. Please help me respond to it very well. I'm going to paste the review below. And then you paste the review and then hit enter. And they're going to give you like the perfect response. And then you could always reply back with, that's great. Can you give me 4 other examples where I'm kinder so that onlookers can feel more excited about working with me? They'll give you examples from there. You don't have a blank page. You can tweak it however you like, but the heavy lifting is done. Okay? So make sure you're doing this because that is a very, very important part. Get a lot of reviews. Make sure the review quality is up and make sure you reply positively to both negative and positive reviews. Now, as far as Facebook and Instagram, in order for you to know exactly how much to spend, remember we talked about, well, we know we want to spend $5,000 because $5,000 will give us our 25 members because our average acquisition cost is $200. Well, that's great, but what I want to know is from here, what is our contact rate, our book rate, our show rate, and our close rate for leads that we get here? Because otherwise, we don't know how many leads we want to get. A lot of people complain because they're like, oh, $25 cost per lead. I remember 4 years ago it was like $1.80. That's great, but I don't really care what the cost per lead is. I care about my customer acquisition cost. This is one indicator, the cost per lead, right? But so if we can get, let's say our contact rate, we're making contact with 50% of our leads, but with improved follow-up and speed and frequency, we're able to get that to 80% contact immediately, regardless of what our cost per lead was. Our overall cost per acquisition is going to go down and closer to our target, if not improving our target, because we're making more contact with the leads we did get. Now, let's say our book rate, we were only booking 50% of our leads, and now we got that to 80%. Same thing, we just improved our customer acquisition costs. Let's say our show rate was at like 40% or let's say even 60%, and we got it to 90% by asking for a credit card at the point of every sale, which you absolutely should do, okay? We just immediately decrease our customer acquisition costs. And let's say our close rate went from 30% to 70%. 70%. Again, we just more than doubled the improvement on our customer acquisition costs. A lot of people focus too much on this, but this, along with these variables, all improve your customer acquisition costs, which is the main thing that you should care about. Nothing else. But the reason people bug out on this one is because it's the one they don't have control over. They could just yell at their ad agency or their employee and tell them to improve. But in reality, if we can improve all of these, it doesn't really even matter. And then even better, if let's say you close 25 members and you were able to get 75 referrals from them, it doesn't matter if this was $75 cost per lead, because you're still going to hit an improved target. And then that could keep multiplying with infinite return. The best people in our program do not care about their cost per lead. It doesn't matter, because in their mind, they know all they need to do is get people in the door. Because as long as I get my customer acquisition cost where I want it to be, if my current acquisition cost is at 150 and my goal is to be under 250 because my average lifetime value is 2,500, well, who cares? I'll spend more money, and I don't care if my cost per lead is $60, $80 a lead. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I'm so good at all the other stuff that I'm going to find a way to get my customer acquisition costs to my target 10-to-1 ratio. A lot of times people go, man, my marketing agency isn't really getting me what I want. Well, maybe your offer sucks. Like, think about it this way. Imagine you told a joke, and you told somebody that joke, and it wasn't a good joke. Like, even that person didn't laugh. If they tell another person, which they probably won't because they didn't even think it was funny, but if they tell another person, what's the likelihood of that joke going viral? Like, none. Why? Because the joke sucks. It has nothing to do with his delivery or his ability to get a joke to go viral. Your joke sucks. It's not going to go viral. What if the joke was amazing? Now you tell somebody, how many people are they going to tell that joke to? And then those people, and then those people. Even if the delivery wasn't as good as yours, if the joke overall is good, well, then the joke's going to go viral. Well, the same thing with a marketing agency, or an ad agency, I should technically say. If you have an offer that sucks and they promote it, all you have is more people knowing that the offer sucks. If you have an offer that's great and you tell it, all you have is more people that know that the offer is great. You have people commenting, sharing, liking, all that stuff. So if you want to learn about a great offer that converts, we've got a free training for you. Just click on the link below. How many members do you have now that are at 1 time a week or 2 times a week, or they're in a program that's maybe outdated that you could just move up a level? If you could just get some of your members, let's say 10% of your members that can't upgrade to upgrade, that's just free profit, didn't cost you anything, okay? So make sure we're making a list of all the people that are upgradable and create a plan to upgrade. How many of our members are not getting things outside of their membership? And how do we get them to buy more things? Now, McDonald's makes more money off the fries and the shake than they do the burger. Your profit margins are higher here than they are on the membership. However, what's even more impressive, on average, HubSpot did a survey that people that buy ancillary products, 2 or more, from a company are 82% more likely to stay longer with that company. Last thing is your win backs. How do we lower overall customer acquisition costs? How do we lower overall attrition, which ties to a higher LTV? Well, this is the way we do it. If, let's say, we started a month with 100 members and we lost 10 due to attrition, but we gained back 2 from people that have paused with us, we actually only had an 8% attrition, which naturally increases lifetime value. And because these people didn't cost us advertising because we already paid for them in the past, it decreased customer acquisition costs. Do you know, on average, the members that have a member return or a win-back strategy each month, they on average bring back 2 to 4 members per month. I say 2 to 4 because obviously depending if you have 100 members versus 300 members, it's a big deal. But they bring back 2 to 4 members per month. At the end of the year, that's 24 to 48 members that you didn't have to get. 24 to 48 members. Let's split that down the middle and say 36 members. Well, 36 members that are worth $165 per month, you just added, by having that strategy alone, $5,900 in MRR times 12 months, $71,000 in revenue. $71,000. Now, you may go, wow, that's $71K. That's pretty cool. I shouldn't have a strategy. I also make $71K. It actually helps you make way, way more. And I'll show you how. let's say your average member costs you a $200 acquisition cost that you won't have to pay, 36 times 200, you also added $7,200 theoretically, because you would have had to pay that to get these members with your traditional strategy. And here, you were able to make about $80K just by doing what the best do and having a constant win-back strategy on go. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos.